All right. I'm done smacking war duck pig bot around for a while. That was funny. Anyways, yeah, finally, dude. It's finally happened, and I'm so glad it finally did happen. Justice for Jaahnavi Kandula has finally prevailed. Why do I say that? Well, guess what? You know the police officer, Kevin Daves, that hit, struck, and ultimately she was pronounced dead at the scene while he was going 74 miles an hour in 25 zone to an urgent call with no lights or sirens. Well, he's finally been fired. Check it out.
Yeah, that's right. So Jaahnavi Kandula's death became national news
It
after she
sure
was hit
did.
and killed walking in this crosswalk right on Dexter and Thomas. The speed limit in this area is 25 miles an hour. Officer Kevin Dave was going 74,
74.
emergency lights off in the dark, speeding through red lights, racing to a high priority overdose call when he hit Kandula, throwing her body more than 100 feet. Dave could later be seen on body camera calling dispatch for help and performing CPR, but Kandula died from her injuries later that evening. That was January 23rd of 2023. Fast forward to now, and an internal letter from Interim Police Chief Sue Rahr explained the decision to fire Dave, highlighting an investigation by the Office of Police Accountability, which found Dave violated several policies, like how officers should modify their emergency response when appropriate and adhere to laws. And the officers are responsible for the safe operation of their police vehicle and are to use emergency lights during a response. Now, Dave's firing comes after a legal back and forth. King County Prosecutor's Office reviewed the case and declined it for prosecution last year. Then it was referred to the Seattle City Attorney's Office, which charged Dave with second-degree negligent driving. The Seattle
Didn't know
Office
about
of Police
that.
Accountability
Good.
waited until both criminal and civil infraction cases were finalized.
So that's
before
good. He
concluding their
was charged.
investigation. Fox
Good.
13 has reached out to the OPA and the Police Officers Guild for comment on this firing, and this morning we are still waiting to hear back. For now, reporting live in Seattle, I'm Taylor Winkle, Fox 13 News.
Oh, but we got more. Check this out. We'll fire this up right here. How about this one?
The Seattle police officer who hit and killed a graduate student with his patrol car has now been fired. Tonight, community activists are calling this a win. King 5's Maddie White joins us now in studio after speaking with law enforcement experts about that decision. Maddie?
Yeah, Greg, it took 2 years, but Kevin Dave has been let go from SPD. It's Interim Chief Sue Rahr's decision. She says she believes he did not intend to hurt anyone that night, but that he broke 4 department policies, including a rule requiring emergency lights to be on during emergency response. The video is chilling. Before her death, you can see 23-year-old Jaahnavi Kandula in a crosswalk in South Lake Union. Kevin Dave was driving 74 miles per hour in a 25 when he hit her.
Of course, it's a victory to see this cop off the streets.
Rally calls for justice
Jail killer cops
broke out across the city.
We were protesting outside of her office in the pouring rain, chanting for weeks.
While King County prosecutors announced in February they would not be filing criminal charges against the officer, the news that he's fired is still a positive update for activists like Robert Engel.
We don't get exactly what we want, but we get him fired. Like, we call that our victory.
The former SPD officer was responding to a drug overdose call that night. In an email to the department Monday, interim SPD chief Sue Rahr said, "I cannot accept the tragic consequences of his dangerous driving." Retired SPD chief Carmen Best says she's not surprised termination was considered here.
Emergency vehicle driving is one of many trainings that the officers have to go through routinely and take refresher courses. Some of the things I know would be considered would be, the time of day, the lighting, the weather conditions, the acoustics of using your emergency equipment in downtown.
Mayor Bruce Harrell now saying he's hopeful this will help rebuild trust in the department and bring some closure. Still, Engel believes it's the civilians who refused to stay quiet,
Long overdue.
who deserve the credit for this action.
We fought for that. We're not going to give them, a bunch of pats on the backs for doing what they needed to do 2 years ago.
Dave was ticketed for negligent driving in connection with the crash, and last month he agreed through his attorney to pay a $5,000 fine. Kandula's family also filed a wrongful death lawsuit against him and the city back in September, Greg.
What do we know about this and how it might affect his future employment?
Well, technically, he could still be hired by another department. When officers get fired, though, there is a state process by which they can be decertified. But again, it would be through the state, not the Seattle Police Department. I'm still working to learn whether that's something that's even being pursued here, though, Greg.
Okay, we'll keep us posted.
Thank you.
Yeah, finally, justice prevailed, sir. We're gonna get a lot more on this. I'm gonna do some other clips of other news agencies, and we're gonna delve into the Indian community, how they respond about Kevin Davis being fired.